Okay, so I didn't upload a video yesterday because, well, I did upload a video yesterday, but I didn't upload a rant because, I don't know, I'm thinking I'm trying to space out the topics I want to talk about so I don't run out of ideas. I just talk about whatever is on my mind. So now I just want to talk about why I'm going to stop watching these incel black pill videos. So as everyone knows, there's been kind of a rise, I think, on YouTube of these incel black pill videos. And I know that it is a good thing to have people willing to talk about issues relating to the male loneliness epidemic and stuff, like how a lot of men are lonely. But I think there's a few problems with the incel community that really bugs me, really irks me the wrong way. And the first thing that irks me about the incel community is that they're so gatekeepy about everything. They are quick to call anyone a fake cell. Yeah, a lot of guys probably are not really incels, but just calling people fake cells and trying to expose YouTubers as fake cells is just annoying and stupid. Because it's obviously a YouTuber is probably if they're a successful YouTuber, obviously they're not incels, but it's they're still giving you, they're still talking about these issues. And it's I don't know. One thing that I do think too is that most of these incel accounts are just grifters. They don't really believe a lot of what they're saying, because when you actually look into what they actually look like, a lot of them are the chads that they complain about. A lot of them are already good looking. They'll even admit that they've had women interested in them. And it's yeah, and it's I think a lot of the incel mentality is self-defeating. That's the main biggest problem with incels, is that they're kind of a self-defeating ideology. Instead of oh, I'm sub 5, I'm ugly, so I'm going to try to I don't know, improve myself to make myself more attractive. They'll say, oh, I'll always be ugly, I'll always be unattractive, so let me wallow in my own self-pity instead of trying to better myself and try to do something about the situation that I'm in. And another thing too is that they treat relationships as the end all be all. They think they'll never be happy unless they get a girl. And it's they complain about hypergamy, women's being hypergamous or whatever. But they are also, they think, oh, if I was a Chad, I could get a hot girl. But it's you don't need a hot girl. You can get a mid girl pretty easily. Most of these guys aren't unattractive. They just, I don't know, they're probably average. It's kind of the small dick problem subreddit. A lot of those guys on the small dick subreddit are probably around average or even above average, but they're just so obsessed with hypergamy and stuff like that they think, oh, unless I'm a 9-inch Aryan Giga Chad, I'm never going to get a girlfriend. And it's it's not really I don't know. I feel a lot of it isn't because obviously a lot of this stuff, women's hypergamy's gone out of control mostly because of social media. And it's mostly women on social media who are obsessed with chads and getting a 6-figure, 6 feet, 6-inch guy. And it's I don't know. Another thing about incels is that they're way too negative, like, all the time. They're like, they always assume like the worst out of anyone around them. Like they just like, I don't know. They think that nobody likes them because they're ugly. When I think the real reason that nobody likes them isn't because they're ugly, is that they're annoying and are constantly whining about things that are outside of their control. And instead of trying to fix things to make things better, they rather wallow in their own self-pity. The only incel channel that I really like is probably this guy Real, because he actually, gives people advice to like improve their lives. He actually tells them, oh, hit the gym, or stuff like that. Whereas most incels are just like, oh, I'll never get a girlfriend, wah. It's like, you don't know if you're never gonna get a girlfriend. A lot of these guys are still young and like still figuring things out. It's like, I was going down this incel rabbit hole too, and I remember I was talking about it, like, if anyone would date me, and this guy said that if he was a girl, he says that he probably wouldn't be interested because I think I'm going through a relationship in the wrong way. I'm thinking about what I could get from it and not what I could do to like be like a worthy partner to someone else, And it saddens me. Like, it makes me really upset when I see like young people, like teenagers, saying that they're incels, because it's like, you're still young, you still have to figure yourself out. You should not lose hope at that young an age. And it's like, this guy, Honest Guy on YouTube, he's like convinced that he's going to be an incel for the rest of his life, but it's like, he's not unattractive at all. He's like actually a pretty handsome guy. Like, it's literally like, just like, the reason why he's an incel is probably not because he can't find a girlfriend. It's probably more so in his head, because it's like, he even admits he's like average height, well, a little below average height, maybe. That's probably why he didn't get a girlfriend. But he says he acknowledges that he's a good-looking guy with a above average like pee-pee. So it's like it doesn't, like, he thinks that girls aren't gonna care because they can't see it, or like, but girls do respond to your personality. As cringe and copey as it sounds, your personality can be a huge turnoff. You could be the most good-looking guy, and if you're like, like obsessed with like pointing out your own like microscopic flaws within yourself, you're not going to be as attractive, even if you're like a giga chad. Like, personality and looks matter, obviously, but in tandem with personality. You should have a good personality to go along with your looks. Even if you're like ugly, if you have a decent personality, there's going to be at least a sub 5 girl who'll be interested, who'll find you funny. And like, even if you're not even if they don't lead to a relationship, you can still be friends with girls. Don't go into a relationship with a woman expecting them to be like romantic with you. Honestly, like, I think sometimes a relationship can be much closer when it's not, when it's not like romantic. Like, when you're like friends, you can open up to, share parts about yourself. And it's like, I think a problem with incels and a lot of culture in general is that our culture is so obsessed with sex in relationships that they make sex to be the end-all, be-all. So all these men who, have a hard time getting a girlfriend feel like they're losers because they can't have sex, when really, it doesn't matter if you can't have sex or not. You're still worthy of companionship. You're still worthy of making friends. And it's like, you shouldn't have to you shouldn't have to define yourself by the amount of sexual partners that you have. Anyway, I think I'm going to stop rambling. I just wanted to share my thoughts. And I want to share an AMV by this YouTuber I found, and it's a Fooly Cooly AMV, which is my favorite anime, and it's an AMV to the song "Attractive Today" by Motion City Soundtrack, because I think a lot of incel types probably would relate to the lyrics. It's by Mischiffles 101. So anyway, I'm gonna end this here.
I am wrecked, I am overwhelmed. I'm also fed up with the common cold, but I just hate to say goodbye to all the